What's up? What's up? I'm just getting settled in. Alright, so we're back to drawing some comics today. We're going to keep working kind of where we left off. We finished the layouts last week, so this week we're going to start on the final line art. Alright, so let's hop into it. Hope everybody's had a good week. Alright, we're going to focus on these characters first. Use just a G pen here. Just focus on my main lines here. So I've got the layout and whatnot. I stick pretty close to what I've done in the layout. You will see I will make a few different changes as I kind of go along here. But at this is kind of more of the fun kind of part of it. We've done all the really hard work at this point. Now we're just going to go ahead and come in here and do the final lines. I'm working in Clip Studio Paint. If you have any questions at any point, just let me know. I am streaming on a few different platforms, so if I don't get to your question or respond to you immediately, I'm not ignoring you. Just have a few different screens I gotta kind of go back and forth between. So, for the shadows on the characters, I'm kind of experimenting with the style where I don't do a solid fill of black. I'll kind of leave some white space in there. On the characters, whenever I do any solid blacks in the background and whatnot, there'll be one solid shape. It's just something I'm kind of trying out. Just see if I like the look of it, the look and feel of it. I feel like it adds a little bit of a little more life, a little more energy without it being just a solid black shape, but it kind of depends on what you're going for. if you're new to the channel, you know, like, subscribe, stick around for a bit. Helps me out a ton and goes a long way. I stream a lot of how-to and upload a lot of how to draw videos. I do vector art and Affinity Designer, and draw comics over here in Clip Studio Paint. So I've got a few different videos planned for Clip Studio Paint, you know, kind of like a intro to Clip Studio Paint, and then we'll get into how to draw faces and stuff like that as well. So basic drawing tutorials. Let's see about maybe just make her head just a little bit shorter. Something just like that. That's certainly the benefit of working digital, being able to make those changes like that on the fly. You know, had that been traditional ink, I would have kind of been stuck with that. I drew comics traditionally, pen, paper, for, I mean, most of the time I've been drawing comics. This will be some of the only comic work that I've done digitally. This part is where you could definitely, for me, where I could definitely get lost in the drawing part of it, where you really just kind of get to work everything out. Versus doing the thumbnails or layouts, it's more, more mentally taxing. Trying to figure out where everything's going to go and making sure everything is being, the story's being told the right way. Entertaining and fun for the reader, engaging. Hey Russ, how you doing? Sorry, I just caught you now. I have to switch between a few different screens. Streaming on a few different platforms. I hope you had a good week, Russ. Cool. Glad to hear it. So one of the characters in this book is just literally a big giant hand. Who can change size and fly. This younger character here, Ren, had an encounter with one of the bad guys in the story and her family, so she joined the group to help them defeat that guy. Then there's a big giant eyeball, flaming eyeball. He's got like magical powers and can teleport and stuff like that. And then you've got Voice, who can turn invisible. So this one we'll just label this layer characters, and then for the background I'm going to switch over to the Millipen marker. Get a little bit of a thinner, more consistent line. So let me just show you real quick. So the Millipen here, this marker, will give you a solid straight line no matter how much pressure you put. Whereas if you go back to our G pen, depending on the pressure of the pen, depends on how thick or thin the lines are. But you could certainly use this for backgrounds if you wanted to, kind of give a little bit more variety to the lines. But what I tend to do is I tend to use the marker for the backgrounds. Just give you a nice, solid, thin line that whole way around. That's what I'm currently experimenting with for the backgrounds. So my idea there would be the background's a little bit more plain, thinner line, straightforward, and then you've got the characters that have that more lively, organic line and flow and shape to them. So I mentioned last stream that like drawing buildings and backgrounds is not like one of my most favorite things, but it kind of started changing for me a little bit when I started really looking at backgrounds as characters and how much a background can really lend to the story, how much life and character a good solid background, scenery, and environments can bring to the story to really ground your characters in that world, give them a place where they're living and breathing. You can make environments feel like real and grounded without having to get too detailed. Let's see what happens if I create one line straight. It'd be easier for me to But in order to get like a good background, they could be a little bit tedious, even if they're not super realistic or anything like that. It still takes time to get something believable. And then you can see here too, for that matter, I'm not drawing every square, I'm just drawing the edges. So I'm drawing the edge that would be further away from the light, so the line that would kind of be casting that shadow. Let me know if the mic volume, if I need to change the mic volume or the music volume at all. I usually do a real short little video recording right before I start to test out the mic and the music. Sometimes it's helpful, other times it's not, so just let me know. So like I mentioned, I'm going to be getting into some more how to draw series of videos. I'm expanding what we've already done. I've got the color theory, basic drawing principles, perspective. So after this we'll move into heads and faces, and then we'll keep trucking along from there. Cool, Russ, thank you. The perspective tool is really nice because once you've got the perspective set up like I do here, you're just dragging. You don't have to hold shift, you don't have to hold any special buttons, you're just drawing right along the lines and snapping it perfectly. So super cool feature in Clip Studio Paint. Makes drawing backgrounds a little more enjoyable, a little more efficient, that's for sure. A great way to practice backgrounds would be like, I mean, you could do a Google search for different cities and whatnot, and do some practice based on that. So I would recommend, you know, if you were to search and try to find like a really good, you know, New York City street, you could take that picture, you could do a draw over of it digitally, and then you can also set up and draw on your own that scene using the program, using the perspective tools, and that'll help out a lot. Another thing you do too is always bring your sketchbook with you. So if you're ever in a downtown area, even if it's a smaller town and they have a downtown area, at least they got some sort of buildings, you know, or if you do travel to a big city, bring your sketchbook and draw the buildings that you see right there. So that's definitely one of the best ways of doing it. But to do a full study by taking an image that you found online and be able to do a full breakdown like this in a program like Clip Studio would help out tremendously as well. I mean, the number one thing for improving at art is just being honest with yourself. If there's something that you don't do well, then practice that thing that you don't do well. It's fun, and it always makes you feel good to draw something really well. So sometimes people will kind of get stuck in this. They'll only draw one certain type of thing because they could do it really well. But if you want to be like a really well-rounded artist and be able to get different jobs and have confidence in doing those jobs, it's really important to be and have a wide range of skills and things that you can draw. And also, you know, if you get to a point, you don't have to know how to draw everything. You just have to know, like, understand how you learn. Because then when you do encounter something that you may not have drawn before, you could bring past knowledge with you from other things that you've drawn in the past, and that'll always help as well. So just doing some copy paste action. Go ahead and do the same for these down here. I appreciate anyone hanging out. If you are new here, subscribe, follow. It helps out a ton. I'll be streaming more as I'm working on this comic, and then I've got some more how-to videos coming out soon as well. I'm going to turn that layer off real quick. Just going to add some like detail to these windows. Keep it very loose. So I'll take care of some of these more curvy lines that I can't do with the perspective tool on. It's nice to give these like windows a little bit of detail like this, so it's kind of be like a reflection on the window, or if somebody had the window open, you know, what you might be able to kind of see inside the shadows of the shapes. So this just brings a little bit more of that like lived-in quality to the world, that things are actually happening in the world. It's just not like static background scenery, you know. That's a world where people actually live and do things, you know. They have a house, pets, kids, they gotta get up and go to work. You know, there's businesses. So all that stuff you could show off with the background and environments in your work. And that could tell a reader a lot about the characters as well, you know. I mean, the world that the characters are in will definitely affect, you know, who they are and how they act, what their goal is in the story, what they're fighting against, or what they're going for or chasing after. So a lot of that and like character background can be reiterated and kind of established through the different environments and background scenery and whatnot in the story. So like, you know, essentially the backgrounds and the environments should almost be like characters themselves. You know, they should have an aesthetic, the aesthetic that fits with the world, with the characters in that world, you know. If you think about any of the Final Fantasy games, or like you know, Saga Frontier and whatnot, they all have that, like, the environments and the characters all look like they belong together, and it all like helps really immerse you in the story and those worlds. mean, that's some of the most fun about like those traditional RPGs, you know what I mean? They're exploring the world and looking at all the little corners and there's nooks and crannies, finding secret items and whatnot. And like when you're doing that, you know, those are fully developed worlds. People are living and working in them. You know, and then you have your characters going about their business, just kind of like overlaid on top of that, you know. So. Bell here in the bell tower. If you have any questions about anything in particular, just let me know. Trying to get some of the lines in here that I don't need a perspective ruler for. A little more window detail here. I'll kind of try to do it where, like, you know, certain windows are open, or maybe they're open halfway. Yeah, if you're watching on Twitch or Kick or anything like that, you can hop over to my YouTube page. I stream on there as well, but I also upload how to draw tutorials. So if you want to check any out after the stream, head over to my YouTube page. I've got how to draw vector art videos using Affinity Designer, and I've got a few like basic how to draw videos as well. So we'll be getting into some more basic how to draw videos using Clip Studio Paint. And then I also have a few logo designs. Well, actually, I've got two different logo design ideas that I'd like to go ahead and do on stream, where I go ahead and create the entire logo on stream. So. But we've been streaming on Thursdays the last few weeks. You know, it might might not be every single Thursday. There might be a week or two out of the month where it won't be Thursday. It might be like a Friday or something like that. But I'm going to try my best that even if I don't get to stream like in a certain week, to at least have like a video upload or something. That's why I mentioned YouTube, you know, to follow me and subscribe to me on YouTube, even if you're just watching on Twitch. Like, if you follow me on Twitch or Kick or whatnot, that's super awesome. I really appreciate it. But also subscribe on YouTube. That way you can see any of the videos that I upload outside of just the times that I stream. Because for now, the streams are really going to be, I've got this comic project that I'm working on, and I'm trying to get on a decent schedule with it. So I'm going to be sharing my process for this comic on stream. Figure, you know, two birds, one stone kind of thing. I can come on here, I can do the comic work that I need to, but I can also be streaming and creating this how-to content for the channel. But, I mean, I guess what I was trying to say with all that is, like, while I'm going to be streaming this comic process quite a bit, I will do some streams where it is a full, like, how to draw stream, and not just you watching me draw something. But I also want to make, like, these streams, even when I'm just kind of working through these pages, I want there to be some value, even in these live streams, so I'll share some how to draw techniques and tips while I'm going through these and whatnot. That's why if you're like in chat and you have any questions in particular, you know, just let me know. If you have a question about how or why I'm doing something, you know, feel free to ask. And that might encourage other people as well if they have any questions. I'll also be sharing most of the work that I do on stream, whether it's the comic pages or, like, so for Vector, I'll offer Vector assets and different Vector templates on my Patreon page, as well as any sort of, like, drawing worksheets or things like that that I create will be available on my Patreon page. But I'm also just be uploading different things that I do on stream here, so like I said, even if it's just a comic book page to upload on stream, so if you want to keep up with some more of my work, you got Patreon, that's listed on both my Twitch well, all my sites, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. You can easily find my Patreon page. Right, let's turn this perspective layer back on. If you're already a member on Twitch, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. It means a lot. Whenever it comes to, like, you know, subscribing on YouTube, following on Twitch, Kick, or like becoming a member on Patreon, all that stuff helps out so much, like you have no idea. So I really super appreciate it. It really does help me continue to be able to stream and do this type of work and share my process with everyone. So shout out to everyone on Patreon who might be here in stream today. Thank you so much. Even the tiniest bit goes a long way when it comes to creating art like this and trying to do it freelance. It's just, you know, especially being able to try to share that process online with people. Got a thunderstorm over here. I mean, there's nothing like cozier than sitting down, doing some drawing. It's storming outside. Like, yeah, this is pretty nice. Definitely feel, though, for anybody up in like Carolina, Virginia area. I know you guys have Aaron right off your coast right now. I'm in Florida, so I know hurricanes, tropical storms. Gotta be safe. Stay safe. Stay inside. about getting there on this. Some more windows, some more details. But yeah, we got a thunderstorm going on over here, so just in case I cut out all of a sudden, that'll be why. I'm gonna go refresh my drink real quick. I will be back in 2 minutes.